Now coming on to the average variable cost. We have to draw the average variable cost. Alright. What was the behavior of average variable cost? That it was falling first and then it reached the minimum level and again it started increasing. So how we can show that? We will draw the diagram. We will start drawing the average variable cost below our AFC curve. Okay, we will start drawing the average variable cost below our AFC curve. It will reach its minimum at the AFC curve, and as soon as it touches the AFC curve, it will start increasing. This is my average variable cost. Alright, first it falls, it reaches this output level, that is Q1. Alright, and as soon as it cuts the AFC curve, it starts increasing. That means it is a U-shaped. Your AFC curve, it is a U-shaped curve. It is a U-shaped curve. Okay. There is also a reason behind the shape of AFC curve, AVC curve. Alright, that why the AVC curve is a U-shaped or dish-shaped. Alright, why the question that is mostly asked, that why AVC is U-shaped. What is the meaning of being AVC as the U-shaped? What you can conclude from seeing this AVC curve? You can see that as the output level is increasing, my average variable cost is falling. Okay, my average variable cost is falling. It reaches its minimum at the Q1 level of output, and again when the output increases, the average variable cost starts increasing. This is the implication of this curve. So why it is happening that at the initial stages my average variable cost is falling, and at the later stages of output my average variable cost is rising? The reason is same. That was the reason for the shape of PVC and TC, that is the law of variable proportions. It is due to the law of variable proportions. I've told you at the initial output level, when the producer is employing more variable factor on the fixed factor, the productivity of the plant increases. The fixed factors on which the variable factors have been employed, the productivity of that plant increases, and I have told you that when productivity increases, the cost will decline, since productivity and cost both are indirectly related. You should know that productivity and cost are indirectly related. Alright, so at the initial stages, when the producer will employ more labor on the given plant size or on the given machinery, the productivity will increases because fixed factors will be more utilized, there will be division of labor, and due to the increasing returns to a factor, the average variable cost will fall and it reaches its minimum. After that, what happens when more and more variable factors are employed in order to increase the output? The diminishing returns to a factor will apply. Okay, the productivity will fall, there will be management problem, there will be disturbance among the optimum proportion of the inputs. Alright, all these things will lead to the increment in the average variable cost at the later stages of the output. So the correct answer, what you can write, that at the initial stages, increasing returns to a factor leads to fall in average variable cost, and at the later stages, diminishing returns to a factor will apply. Diminishing returns to a factor will apply, and the output and the cost will increase. Okay, the correct answers, I'll send the notes. The answers are more correctly and aptly written on in those notes. Okay. Now coming on to our average total cost, that is the summation of AFC and AVC. Average total cost is nothing but the summation of AFC and AVC, and since it is the summation of both the curves, it will always lie above the both the curves. Okay, जब AFC और AVC का कोई चीज एडिशन होगा तो वो हमेशा उसके ऊपर लाई करेगा. That is why my average total cost starts from here, it falls and see the minimum point of ATC and draw a line and name it as Q3. This will be my average total cost, and at the minimum point of average total cost, the minimum point of average total cost is known as the optimum output level. Okay, it is known as the optimum level of output, because the average cost is minimum over here. That is why it is known as the optimum level of output. Alright, now the shape of ATC is also U-shaped, and the reason behind the shape is same, that is the law of variable proportions. At the initial stages, increasing returns to a factor will apply, and after that decreasing or diminishing returns to a factor will apply, and the average total cost will also start increasing. Okay, that answer is similar to what the answer you will write for AVC. The other question is that you can see very keenly. This is my AVC curve, and this is my average total cost curve. Okay, you can see from the diagram that they are coming closer to each other. That means the difference between them is narrowing down. You can see that the difference between ATC and AVC is narrowing down. If I talk about any point below Q1, I can see the difference between ATC and AVC is very much. But at the later stages, see the difference between ATC and AVC has reduced. So what is the reason that the difference between ATC and AVC goes on reducing, or the difference between ATC and AVC narrows down? So the next question arises that you should know. The next question is that why the difference between ATC and AVC narrows down or decreases. I think this year only this question was asked in your boards. Okay, why the difference between the average total cost and the average variable cost narrows down with the increase in the output? The answer to this question, it is also based upon the mathematical thing. See, at the initial stages, at the below Q1, if I see, your average fixed cost is lying above average variable cost. Okay, below Q1, your average fixed cost, this is your average fixed cost, it is lying, this is your average variable cost and this is your average fixed cost. So your average fixed cost is lying above the average variable cost. Alright, and at the later stages now, over from here, my average fixed cost is lying below the average variable cost. So what I'm trying to say is that at the initial stages, alright, the contribution of average fixed cost is more in average total cost. That means the percentage contribution in the average total cost of the average fixed cost is more, and at the later stages, since your average fixed cost continuously falls, the contribution of average variable cost increases in the average total cost. That is why they both start coming together. Okay. At the initial stages, the answer you can write at the initial stages. At the initial stages, what is happening? The percentage contribution of AFC is more than AVC, and at the later stages, since AFC falls, its percentage contribution reduces and percentage contribution of AVC increases to the average total cost. That is why the difference between both the average total cost and average variable cost is continuously narrowing down. It is decreasing because your average fixed cost is continuously falling and the contribution of average variable cost is increasing in the average total cost. So all these answers are mentioned in the notes that I will provide